All right, guys, if you're a Daiwa fan, Evergreen fan, or just a topwater enthusiast, this is going to be a really good week for you. Welcome to the drop. How's it going, guys? It's Travis here from Tackle Bros, aka Tackle Prez on Instagram. Give me a follow. I am closing in on 500 friends. Pretty fire. Never had Instagram before. Not a big social media guy, to be fair, but I thought it'd be cool to have a personal Instagram, show you guys some of the stuff that we do behind the scenes. Give me a follow. Give Ashton a follow, QTR_46. Yeah, we're here to hang out with you on this beautiful Thursday evening. We had a pretty cool weekend last weekend. I mean, did some different stuff on the big water. We had a guest down last week for the weekend, and we went and did a bunch of topwater fishing on Thousand Islands. Now, if you haven't ever been to the Thousand Islands, it is a smallmouth paradise. It's just everything looks so good for smallmouth. We mixed it up this weekend. We went topwater fishing. We were looking specifically for one species of fish. We didn't get them this time, but our friend's gonna come back down, and we're gonna hopefully get that done in the fall. But this week we have a bunch of really cool stuff in stock for you guys. Next week we're gonna have a little bit of a different approach to the drop. It is Thousand Island Open Week, so if you're Canadian, you guys probably know what that is. It's one of the biggest tournaments in Canada of the entire year. It's one where if you're in, you're in. If you've not been doing it, you kind of get put onto a waiting list, and it can take years to get back into it. This is mine and Ashton's third year doing it. We look forward to it every year. It's a full week on Lake Ontario, fishing with our friends. And some of you guys that watch this probably are in the tournament, and if you're not, I mean, you can definitely, do they do a live weigh-in?
They do a live weigh-in.
All right, well, they do a Facebook live weigh-in, so Ashton will be bringing our fish up, and yeah, it's a fun week. But that means that we won't be in the shop next week. So we are gonna have someone bring us up the drop items for next week as they come in. We're gonna film it, we're gonna shoot it. We're still gonna bring it out to you guys. We're not missing these this year. Every week we're doing one of these, no matter what. So even if we only got a little bit of stuff. But next week should be pretty good. And there is some stuff that I have seen the forecast on coming in that is going to be amazing. So you're not going to want to miss these. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you can, stay up to date on all this stuff. So next week we're going to do a boys drop. So there's 6 of us that have rented a house. I'm going to get as many of us are going to fit in the screen as possible. So probably at least 4 of us will be in it. We'll do kind of like everybody kind of talks about the products. I think it'd be a different approach. I think you guys will like it. Everybody's pretty cool, so definitely check that one out next week. For this week, we got some cool stuff. So iCast is in full swing. If you're not familiar with iCast, it is basically the industry fishing show where everybody kind of brings all of their new product. They do it down in Florida. It used to be a consumer show, but now it's just sort of you have to be in the fishing industry to go. Is that fair? Yeah, it's like a dealer show or like a salesman show, kind of like that. We went last year. I buy so much stuff, not from North American companies, we'll say. So we primarily focus on Japanese brands here. I just have a passion for it. It's something that I've always liked in fishing. I always look for the most obscure or the most high-end original type baits. And that's just what we gravitated for. And most Japanese brands do not take part in iCast, so we'll probably end up going every other year or something like that. That being said, there are some great brands down there. I know Nishine is down there. G-Crack is down there. Obviously, Daiwa, Shimano, all the big ones are down there. And a lot of these guys are releasing products. So over the course of the next month or 2, all of the iCast products are going to start to come in. You've already probably seen some of the stuff that's being released on their respective social medias, but we will also do detailed breakdowns on things that I think kind of deserve it, and then you'll see them all right here on the drop as we bring them in. All right, so we're gonna start right here with Evergreen, and we'll just jump into some new colors in the Evergreen Shower Blow. So this is Evergreen's, this is probably their most popular bait. It's a topwater pencil pop, I would say. They've really revolutionized this style of bait. It is the most popular pencil pop, I would say, ever made. This is in the 777, so the 77.7 millimeter. It's gonna be 1130 seconds in weight. 2 new colors. So we're gonna do Ice Fish. So this is just a really good kind of white clear, and then it's gonna have a mirror in the middle, so you can get some good flash on this guy. It's a cool color. And then we're gonna have pink. So gonna have a nice pink stripe there white back, white belly, nice red eye. Oh yeah. So that's a cool one from Evergreen. So definitely check out those 2 new colors. Obviously, with the popularity of mid-strolling, Evergreen has actually made one of the most popular mid-strolling type baits for a long time called the Last Ace. They finally decided to bring over the 128 size to the US domestic market. If you're not familiar with the Last Ace, we also carry Last Ace 75s. I think it was a one-time Japan offering, and we still have some in stock. So if you're looking for a little bit smaller size, check out the 75s, but today we're going to talk about the 128S. So this is a sinking style minnow bait. Something that I always preach to people is that realistic eyes, for whatever reason, seem to just have a little bit extra draw. Really excited to see that on this. So 128 is about 5 inches. Now in the mid-strolling, I seem to see a lot of guys kind of going towards that 3-inch size. That's not always the best place to start. Now I'm kind of thinking in the fish roller, because that's kind of been my go-to for the last couple years. Now with the addition of the 5 and the 6.5, I've kind of expanded my starting point to a 4 or a 5. I will go to the 6.5 if they're eating it really good, just to try to get that bigger fish to commit, and I will go down to the 3 on rare occasions if they're just not eating anything else and they're kind of hitting the 4 but not really, and maybe I can see some bait fish in the water that's a little bit smaller. I'll go to the 3. 4 and 5 should be your starting point. This is not an intimidating size. It's not an intimidating profile at all. This is pretty standard size for mid-strolling. They're going to be available in 4 different colors. This is going to be a popular one. Anything mid-strolling these days kind of liquidates out. And Evergreen, again, these have been available for a long time in Japan. I've picked up a bunch of packs over the years. We do have the 75 as well. So if you are looking for that smaller size, we do have the 75s in stock as well from that initial Japan offering we did late last year. So I'll run through the colors with you really quick. We only have 4 at this moment, and they're only in the 5-inch. So we'll do that. The one that I've been showing you here is Neo Morocco. This is badass. This is a great color. Then we're gonna have Baby Gill, Almond Gold, and then finally White Clear. So whether you're just looking to get into mid-strolling or you want to throw these on a trailer for something, this is going to be a great size, something you should have in your boat anyways. The Last Ace 128S from Evergreen. Huge restock this week on Owner, and a couple new products, nothing too crazy, but Jungle Flippin' Hooks in a 4/0 has been out of stock for a while. We have them back in a 3/4 and a 5/0 rigging hooks. If you are from the Kawarthas, you know why this hook is important. We have 4/0 back in stock again. These things liquidate out of here. Guys use them for one bait and one bait only, but this is a very, very, very popular one. We also brought in bulk packs of the Owner offset wide gap worm hooks. This has been a popular one for us for a long time. I had a couple guys asking me to bring in some bulk packs, so we brought in a couple of the popular sizes, 4/0 obviously. So those are in, and then finally, with everybody needing ball heads and some of the most popular ones being out of stock for long periods of time, we decided to bring in a couple of the Owner Ultra Head type round ball heads. These are going to be both in a 2/0. We're going to have a 3/16 and a 1/16 90-degree line tie. So do with that as you will. Couple different options, and it's nice to see them in a 2/0. I know a lot of you guys like throwing that bigger shank hook on a lot of these baits, and now you'll have that available to you. Beast hooks, all back in stock. We have everything up to a 12/0. I have all the weights in the 8/0. So any of you guys looking to rig up the Magdraft Freestyles, every size is back in stock for you. I also have the underspins as well, so check those out. Mentioned it last week, but we did end up getting a couple sizes back in stock of the Range Roller. They're the lighter sizes and some of the smaller hooks, but still good ones to have. Again, if you research a lot of these techniques, guys are throwing like 6.5 inch on 1/0. So something to keep in mind. And last but not least, we brought back in the braided line scissors from Owner. This is just a great stainless steel braided line scissors. Comes with a little sheath. Ultra popular every time we bring them in, so check these out from Owner. Okay, let's go over to one of my favorite brands in the shop, Teckel. We actually had Hideki come down and hang out with us last weekend. We did a bunch of topwater fishing. I learned a ton about topwater actually. I don't claim to be a topwater expert. We definitely throw it, but it's definitely something that I needed to get a little masterclass on from a guy who may be the most passionate topwater angler I've ever met. If you ever see Hideki out, you'll know that he just loves fishing. He loves bass. He doesn't want you to mistreat them. So he even makes these little cool stickers that say, "Do not mistreat bass." He's just an ultra passionate guy that makes some amazing, specifically needed type frogs. So he doesn't just make a frog to make a frog. Each one serves an individual purpose. So I'll give you a little example. So years ago, Hideki used to fish in the FLW Tour as a co-angler. He fished California Delta a ton, and he would fish some tidal waterways. He is a big fan of the Whopper Plopper, but would notice that when the tides started to get down, his Whopper Plopper was getting caught in all of the weeds and grass and stuff like that. So he went back to Japan and created the Springer frog, which essentially is a prop tail frog that is not going to get hung up when you are fishing in grass in low tide situations, and then you can go back to your Whopper Plopper when the tide goes back up. So he doesn't just make frogs to make frogs. Each one serves a very specific purpose. He is a master at all things topwater, in my opinion. I learned a ton from him this weekend, and it's somebody that I'm truly proud to call my friend. With that being said, huge Teckel restock. So all of the Kicknockers are back in stock. This is that amazing, really easy to use, walk the dog style topwater bait. Springer frogs, that one that I just explained to you. So this is all back in stock. Blade wakers. So if you guys are fans of bladed jigs that you like to fish in, I would say this is for shallower water or coming through up over brush and cover and stuff like that. This is pretty snagless to me. It also wakes on top of the water, so has a cool little built-in double action. These are all back in stock. The Sharkers. If somebody knows what happened with the Sharkers, because this has become probably the most popular topwater bait in the store, crazy amount of orders for these. These are all back in stock. Honker frogs. If you're not familiar with a honker frog, this is that really cool frog with metal legs that just kind of cling together. It kind of makes a bluegill style sound. These are all back in stock. And now to get to the reason why all the Teckel is back in stock, we see a new color in the Maxqueaker. So this is that ready to go, right out of the box, amazing buzz bait that has been sought after for a very long time. This used to be available under a different name. He brought it back under the Teckel branding, and this is going to be now available in a black skirt with a gold blade. All the other colors have also been restocked, so the bluegills, the whites, the other black with the regular blade, all those are back in stock. If you're a topwater fan and you're not using a Teckel product, give one a try. He makes something that will fit a hole in your arsenal. If you just like throwing, you know, a spook style bait, kind of that topwater walking style bait, it is tough to beat a Kicknocker. It's available in 2 different sizes right now, in the pup and the full size. It's probably the easiest walking topwater bait I've ever used. So check all that stuff out for Teckel, and make sure you tag him on Instagram. He loves seeing you guys catching fish with his product. Thank you to Hideki for showing me so much cool stuff on the weekend and hanging out with us up here in Canada. All right, so another quick little restock here. This is one that I wasn't expecting to have the restock for a while because, you know, this style of fishing is not known to be ultra popular up here, but I'm glad you guys were able to get your hands on that first batch, and I'm happy to bring in another one, and that is going to be the Glideway 176 from Swimbait Republic. All the popular colors are back in stock in this guy. So, you know, your after party, this is going to be kind of that natural white color. It's going to have kind of a purple pearlescent built into it. So this is a great one. We're gonna have Moonwalker. This is actually my personal favorite. This is the first one that I bought to kind of give it a shot. This is a phenomenal color. And then we're also gonna have Bone Soldier. There's a couple other colors over there. I didn't want to get too crazy with it, but the weights, the tails, everything from Swimbait Republic is back in stock. Let's move over to another new product and switch gears over to fish care. Fish care is something that's very important to me. It should be to all of you. This is kind of our resource. This is what we have to go out and enjoy ourselves, to catch these amazing creatures. And if you're a tournament fisherman, if you have dead fish, Number one, it kind of doesn't look too great on the whole tournament scene. Number two, nobody wants to kill big fish. Nobody wants to kill fish in general. Us tournament guys, for the most part, we are catch, weigh, release, and being in that box can be stressful on these fish, especially for smallmouth. So we brought in a new brand with new product that I think will help all of you guys that like to box fish. Maybe you're just boxing them to take a picture in a little bit. Most of you are going to be boxing them to do a tournament weigh-in. Either way, this is something that you should have in your boat, and that is going to be BuzzerRocks Livewell treatment. There are 4 different options to these. I'm going to run through them really quickly, kind of explain to you what each one does and why this is something, for the price of them, you should have it in your boat. It's going to help you, even if it helps you 5%. You guys know, if a fish dies in a tournament, you're gonna lose what, quarter, half pound? And again, it doesn't look good on tournament fishing as a whole. This is our resource that we need to protect and take care of. So any little thing you can do to keep these fish a little bit happier, we should all do it. That's why we all carried tons of G-Juice, bags of ice, we got recircs, we got oxygenators going. I'll pretty much do anything. I carry like 10 bags of ice, especially for smallmouth. Let's get into what this product actually is. There's 4 really cool things. Let's say you kind of hook it a little bit weird, or if you bring a fish up from a little bit of depth, sometimes they'll stress bleed. So they made a blood stop formula. It's basically this little spray can here. You can spray it onto the area and it's gonna clot it up immediately. So I'm just gonna read it to you. So these are the pros. It's going to stop bleeding. It's gonna protect the wound from infection, which is great. It's going to increase fish survival rate by 85%, and it is environmentally friendly. So this is a no-brainer to have on your boat. Give it a little blast of this where it's bleeding from, it's gonna clot it up, and it's gonna save that fish. Number 2, this is the tournament pack. This is gonna come with 3 different tablets in it, okay? So the white one is going to be the bubble release. Basically what that's going to do is it's going to prevent nitrate and ammonia in the live well. It's environmentally friendly. You can use these in both salt water and in fresh water. This is essentially going to add some oxygen into the water. It's going to last for up to 4 hours, so you drop a tab or 2 into the live wells every 4 hours. It's going to help those fish kind of get the oxygen that they need in that stressful environment. The yellow tablets, so this is that second little row here. These are going to be the energy party. So these are going to rejuvenate fish as you've caught them. They're going to stress relieve, and they're going to speed up the detoxification process. I'm reading all this, by the way. That is what they're claiming this is going to do. That was the one that really stood out to me. You know, sometimes when you have a long fight with a fish, they kind of roll on their belly. If I could do anything to speed up that recovery process, I'm going to jump to it. Don't care. I'm going to try it at least. So really like to see those from these guys. And then the red pill is going to be, you know, when the fish are kind of, you know, jumping all over the place, they're super lively. It's just going to kind of mellow them out and kind of de-stress them out when they're in there for a long day. So that is going to be the tournament pack. Now, the energy party is going to be available in a pack by itself. I'm definitely picking this one up. This is something that I think will really help, especially on those smallmouth, man. They get super sad real quick sometimes, especially if they're coming out of deeper water. They get the bends. You got to make sure you fizz them still. You throw one of these guys in there. This is good for the whole day. So one of them is good for 20 gallons. So if you have a 20-gallon live well, you just kind of set it to recirc. You throw one of these guys in there with the bubbler, and it's going to kind of make everything work together. Just a really cool product that should be able to help some of the fish mortality rate in tournaments. Stuff like this is always useful to have. They also are going to have the bubble pack, the bubble release, sorry, available in a pack by itself. So they're going to be 4 new products. Bubble release by itself, energy party by itself, that tournament pack with a little bit of everything, and then this guy right here, which you should have in your boat automatically just to stop the bleeding. It's going to clot them up. So a really cool fish care product in from BuzzerRocks Livewell Care System. Check that out. Another restock. We're gonna go back, forth, new, back, new, restock. Okay. Sunline. I brought these bags in. This is that line bag from Sunline. I'll open this one up. I brought these in a couple weeks ago. They literally didn't last the next day. So we brought in a lot more. If you're like me, I struggle with line storage. I'm not a huge fan of those Plano boxes. This is one that you can kind of customize to fit. They're gonna come with these bands that you can put around the spools by themselves. It's just a great line bag to keep in the boat. It's just available in this one camo color. I'm not going to say how many it can hold because you can kind of, depending on if you're using bulk spools or you're using individual spools, but check these out from Sunline. Finally back in stock in a decent way. Pretty cool one from Sunline. And then also this is something that I just kind of brought in to bring in last time. This is the Sunline Storage Bag Clear. Just something to throw some tackle, some other random stuff, or if you don't want to get the big bag, you can get this one. Pretty inexpensive for putting, you know, soft plastics in. So just a cool little storage bag from Sunline. Also in from Sunline, another huge restock of Almight. So that's that new sinking line from Sunline. It's going to be available in 2 different colors, high vis pink and then camo. So the camo is going to have, you know, a little bit of olive, a little bit of orange, just a mixture of colors. These have been super popular. The 7.2 has been out of stock since day one on the pink. Finally have those back in stock. And then it is available in a bunch of weird sizes, all the way up to 22.5. Everything's back in stock this week. Sinking line has a bunch of really cool benefits, and you're gonna see that a lot of brands are gonna start to come out with sinking line. Right now, with your current braided line, it's kind of running along the surface and then dropping down to your bait. With the sinking line, you're gonna take that whole bow out, so you're gonna feel pickups way quicker. You're gonna be able to just reel into hook sets. There's a ton of great benefits to this style of line. With the Almight, please size up. If you're used to using a 10 pound, try the 13 or 16.5 pound. If you're used to using a 15 pound, try using, you know, the 18.5 to the 22.5. So these are true PE rated line. They're not, the pound test is, you know, second in Japan. This is a true PE rating, so size up based on what you're normally used to. The 11 pound is not 10 pound. The 11 pound is actually closer to like 7 pounds. So check these out from Sunline. And then finally back in stock, FC leader. So this has been out of stock for a very long time. A lot of you guys use this leader. We've had some of the bigger spools in stock for a while, but we're finally getting back in the 50-yard spools. So they're available from a 5 pound all the way up to a 20 pound. So like that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So there's a ton of in-between sizes. And that's something that I like about Sunline. Even in that smaller range, you know, that 5, 6, 7, 8, super key for me doing a lot of the more finesse techniques that we use a lot. This is a good one for that. Okay, so I'm gonna run through one rod and then we're gonna get into Daiwa because there's a bunch of great new die-cast stuff from Daiwa. NRX guys, if you are a fan of NRX Plus, you know that there is very little on the spinning side for medium heavy. Because of that, there is a few particular models. Now, this has kind of been helped with the GLX lineup. A lot of you guys like to, you know, throw tubes or maybe free rig some heavier stuff or power shot on spinning. So in the inshore lineup, they make an 903. So for you Loomis guys, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you are not a Loomis fan, Loomis does things in inches and power. So 90 inches, 3 power is a medium heavy. So this is a medium heavy 7'6". This is in the inshore lineup. Now this is gonna be good for you guys that also do not like the recoil guides, which I don't know why you wouldn't. They've been on there forever. They work great. But if you don't like the recoil guides, these are going to come with Fuji titanium guides all the way up now. So normally it's just those first couple of guides that are Fuji and then it goes into the recoil guides. On this one, we're going to see Fuji guides all the way to the top. Same rod premise. There's nothing really too different. There's a little bit of color difference on the wrapping here at the bottom. There's a little bit of gray in it, but the rod feels amazing, just like all Loomis rods do in the NRX lineup, but just a cool addition to have a medium heavy in that 7'6" range. Ton of guys that are pretty good sticks have been scooping these up from us for some cool techniques. So check this one out from Loomis. Okay, Daiwa. Man, we had a good one last week, did we not? We had a good one last week. So last week we kind of preemptively shot a Daiwa back in stock last week. The guys couldn't get it done. We cut it from the video. Everyone was very sad. But this week, the guys worked really, really hard to get this done in the back room. This is one of our biggest Daiwa restocks of the year. So if you've been looking for anything from, you know, Tatula XT, CDN rods, all the way up to Steez. Everything is back in stock, and we also are going to have some new models. So you BFS guys, I literally shot all this last week. So you guys know that Daiwa has been finally starting to bring over some of their bait finesse line of reels. Now we're going to start to see some of their bait finesse line of rods. Now Daiwa has been doing bait finesse in Japan for a very long time. They're very good at it. I think the first time they tried to bring it over, they were a little bit early, and then this time they were a little bit late. Rather be late than never. One of the leading guys in bait finesse, and they're finally going to bring over their PX series of rods. Now PX stands for Pixie. If you guys have been shopping in Japan for a while, this has been a staple lineup for bait finesse over there for a long time. They also are going to have the PX reels, which we released to you guys a couple of weeks ago. This is that higher end bait finesse reel from Daiwa. Now they're going to have rods to pair up with it. So they're going to only come in 2 different rods. They're going to come in a 681L and they're going to come in a 681 ultralight. So we've had a little bit of time to play with these now because they were supposed to come out last week, but we deleted it. The ultralight, I would say, is going to be a much better moving bait rod. So if you're looking for something to throw, you know, little crankbaits on, something like that, try this guy out. Now, if you're looking for something to throw maybe a finesse jig on, like Igudamas, or you're looking for, you know, pretty much anything single hook style. Maybe you want to drop shot on a bait finesse system, or you want a Ned rig on a bait finesse system, the light version is going to be the one for you. This rod feels incredible. It's nice to have a couple JDM bait finesse rods in the shop finally. A lot of the guys that have been doing it in the US, even, you know, Daiwa's attempts, prior attempts to this, Shimano's attempts, I always felt that they were just a little bit, they were almost not light enough because they were afraid that you guys wouldn't understand working BFS. But now there's been some time, everybody's a little more acclimated, there's a lot more information out, and having this lighter, softer action is really beneficial. So check out the PX lineup of rods from Daiwa, and check out the reels as well. They're going to pair up beautifully together. They have great styling. The reel seats are amazing. If you guys aren't familiar with the Daiwa air sensor reel seats, they're really, really good. So cool one from Daiwa in the bait finesse. I'm going to stay on bait finesse for a minute because I understand that this is generally a rich man's technique. Well, not from Daiwa. Now, you're still going to have to spend a little bit of money on the reel. I don't think that's really going to go away. It's so specialized and there's a lot of technology that goes into them. But Daiwa has brought over their BFS line of Tatula XTs. So this is going to be a 2-piece model. So it's going to be ferruled in the middle there. It's just going to be a 2-piece version. This is going to be the, I think it's a 6.5. Yep, 6.5. 6.5 light BFS rod from Daiwa. This is in the Tatula XT model. So this is what, 120 Canadian, like 99 US, something like that. This is a great entry level BFS rod. So if you're looking to, you know, get into it, but you're trying to save a couple bucks, check out the Tatula XT models of this. And it's also a multi-piece, which a lot of you guys like for traveling. It's just nice to have in the car. So check out the Tatula XT BFS model from Daiwa. There's also a bunch of new models of XTs. Now, we generally, you know, don't over highlight some of the lower end products. There's a lot of fall off for quality in lower end stuff, but the XT lineup from Daiwa is one that I really believe they've nailed. The styling is beautiful, the actions are beautiful. It's a phenomenal price point rod. So if you're looking at something in like the $100 price point, that 20 bucks is going to go a long way to get you into the XT. It's actually pretty much our starting point now. We don't have much rods less than the XT, and it's because I stand behind it and I want to bring you guys the most quality product for the best prices. We can't have everything, and I understand that some things don't fit everybody's budget, but what we try to do here is have a little bit of something for everyone where I can stand behind it. So there's, you know, there's a lot of $40, $50 rods that I just don't feel comfortable selling because I don't think that they're, you know, necessarily gonna stand up. The XT is something I can stand behind. So check out that whole lineup from Daiwa. It's nice to have a, you know, a little bit more budget friendly rod lineup.
What's that other rod there?
I got lots of rods for you. This is the one you want to know about. This one here.
What is that?
What is this? Now, you travel guys. This is the new Ardito travel series of rod. Now, this is pretty cool. Maybe you just want to have a spare rod in the car and you don't want it to take up too much room. I bring you the Ardito telescoping line of travel rods. Okay, so I think they're only going to be available in a couple models. The two that I have here are going to be the 6'7" medium and the 6'7" medium light. Now, this is kind of the ultimate, compact travel rod that you can literally bring everywhere. So if you're going away on a trip and you want one that's going to fit beautifully into your suitcase, this is a cool one to check out. You're just going to, so this is the full rod. I have it fully extended right now. All the guides are out. It just looks like a completely normal rod. And then you're getting ready to go in for the day. You're gonna start collapsing it down. So there's that guide. Clips down, okay? And we're just gonna keep working these down, working it down, boom, okay? And then you're like, oh, how do you protect the guides? Well, doesn't the butt end screw off? And then screw right on top of all the guides. And now you have this incredibly compact little wizard wand. This is a pretty cool concept from Daiwa. I'm generally not the biggest telescope guy, but this just has too many good purposes for me to ignore. Again, I think there's two models available. The Ardito telescoping travel rod lineup. I didn't bring a whole lot of these in because I thought it was kind of gimmicky, but now that I have them, I think I might have made a mistake. Get them while you can. I think there's only a few of each in hand, but they will get restocked eventually. So a really cool one, just kind of keep in the car. If you're going away on a trip, easily fit into the suitcase. Just one you can literally carry with you everywhere. So Ardito travel rod line from Daiwa. This is part of Daiwa's iCast release. So this week, we're going to see a few things that we should have seen last week. And next week, I believe we will have some more stuff. Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar with Kage, this is the Pro Shop exclusive rod lineup from Daiwa. Now, this is a rod for shops where, you kind of come in, everybody knows what they're talking about. This isn't just like, someone working a random shift on a Tuesday that maybe works in, clothing one day and the fishing section the other day. Yeah, this is for fishing. So there's a ton of different models in these. I think all of the casting are full cork, which some of you guys are gonna like. This has existed before. Now, I have a love-hate with this rod lineup because for a lot of retailers, it's probably not a problem. For us, because we try to reach a broader audience, this is a bit of a challenge for me. So these are not available to purchase freely online. If you are looking for one of these Kage rods, you will have to, unfortunately, call the shop, shoot us an email, shoot us a DM. We'll make sure you get taken care of. We'll make sure this gets out to you. If you're in the area, come stop by, have a look at them. They've been completely redone. Still same premium components, just kind of updated to the latest and greatest Daiwa had. I believe most of the actions have stayed the same. There might have been some additions. I haven't really had a crazy amount of time to look at them, but this is just that kind of mid-high end, I would say Tatula Elite competitor, kind of in that price range, but with a cork handle. So if you're a cork guy, you're gonna be really happy, and there's a bunch of cool models. So check out the new 2024 Kage line of rods from Daiwa. Yeah, but you have to email us. So I'm going back to travel rods, and I'm going back to Ardito. Ardito travel rods, these are 4-piece. I know you're looking at these because that reel seat.
Cool.
Oh yes, it is. So this is Daiwa's highest end travel rod series, is the Ardito TRs. This is something we've had in the shop for a long time. We have a huge restock and new models in these, so I'm just gonna run over the features of this, kind of break it down for you, which I'll actually do right now, just so you guys can kind of see. Okay, so this is Daiwa's 4-piece travel rod series. Now, the great thing about Ardito is they kind of cover a little bit of everything. They have like big musky sticks that musky rods generally are crazy expensive. They're 1-piece only or telescoping. You can't really take them anywhere but your boat. They don't fit in the car. They don't fit in a bag. These guys make travel rods for, bigger sticks. It might not be musky specific, but it does play into that. They make them also in kind of a more finessier spinning rod style as well. So again, 4-piece, so it's just gonna have ferruled pieces here. They call this the V joint. So It actually locks in very, very nicely. Just gonna put it on a little bit of an angle, boom. So again, a lot of Daiwa's high-end technology is available in this guy. X45 wrapping, which is their proprietary wrap, which helps with durability and sensitivity. Just a really beautiful style travel rod. Love to see cork handles, that's my favorite. Really cool lockdown seat and really cool reel seat actually, as you can see. That's cool as shit. But yeah, so a bunch of new models available in casting and spinning in the Ardito travel rod lineup. If you're looking for a great travel rod, Daiwa makes a really good one to go along with some of the other ones we have in the shop. CDNs are also in stock. Okay, so with all of the new rods, we also had probably our biggest rod restock. So Zillions are back in stock, Tatulas are back in stock, Tatula Elites are back in stock, Tatula Elite AGS are back in stock, Tatula XTs are back in stock, Steezes are back in stock. I'm going to touch on one of the Steezes really quick just because I think everybody needs this style of rod, not specifically this one, but if you don't own a 7.6 medium light, you need one. It is kind of taking over most of the finessier side of spinning stuff, spy baiting, hair jigs, little underspins. You know, we've even been throwing swim baits on these a little bit. So the Steez, the one which has been incredibly tough to get over the last year, are finally back in stock. This is their 7.6 medium light, so check that one out from Daiwa. Okay, also from Daiwa, huge reel restock. So are you guys ready for this? Tatula CTs, Tatula 70s, Tatula 80s, Tatula SVTWs, and then Tatula 100 TWs, Tatula Elite Spinning, Tatula Elite Spinning, Tatula Spinning, and I think that's it. There's a lot of Tatulas. They're all back in stock though. We also have Exist back in stock. We were missing a couple models. Those are all back in, and then Certates, which has become one of the most popular reels in the entire shop. These are back in stock in 25s, 3000s, and 4000s. And then my musky guys who have been waiting on this for a very long time, I'm very sorry. I don't know why these were out of stock for so long, and I don't know why musky reels seem to be incredibly tough to get these days. Our #1 selling musky reel over the last couple of years, the Prorex T-Wing. So this is going to be in the 400 size. I have rights and lefts. That's very rare. Both are back in stock. I have a bunch of different sizes on them. Prorex rods are all back in stock as well. So if you're a Daiwa fan and you are a fan of the Prorex series, the XT is their entry-level musky rod. They're about like 100, I think they're $100 US or 129 bucks Canadian. Those are all back in stock. It's a really good starting point. And then their standard Prorex are also back in stock. These are back in stock. Lexus are back in stock. All musky Daiwa back in stock. And all rods and reels Daiwa back in stock. We shouldn't be missing too much. Maybe a couple SKUs that they were just out of stock of, but I really tried to get, you know, one of the bigger restocks of the year. And then we're gonna keep having all the new iCast stuff coming in over the next couple weeks. All right, that's it for this week, guys. So if you see something that you like, definitely go check it out. Those last aces are probably my favorite thing from this drop. I will 100% be picking up those BuzzerRocks. Fish care, ultra important. Check out Teckel. Please support Hideki and his Teckel brand. He is one of the most amazing lure builders I have ever met. So thank you guys for hanging out this week, and we will see you for a special edition next Thursday. Take care.